Hi, I'm James Reeves. You may remember me from other videos on YouTube, such as the best 5 Glocks that don't exist, the 5 best Glock accessories, and why I love Gaston Glock more than my own mother. While it's true that I am a huge Glock fan, there's a little known fact about me, and that is that I have carried a Smith & Wesson M&P Compact 1.0 in my briefcase every single day to work for probably the past 2 or 3 years. I'm a huge Smith & Wesson M&P 1.0 Compact fan. Now, saying all that kind of annoys me because for some reason, Smith & Wesson felt like they could buck the system that Glock had already set up, where you've got the full size of the duty size, then you've got the compact, which is a 15+1 gun, then you've got the subcompact, which is a 10+1 gun that you usually have to dangle a pinky on whenever you're shooting it with a flush fit magazine. And that's the way God intended it, and Gaston Glock. But for some reason, Smith & Wesson had to introduce the Smith & Wesson M&P 1.0, and there is no 1.0 designation. It's just the standard Smith & Wesson M&P. But the M&P, as we refer to them, the 1.0, to distinguish them from the 2.0. So the earlier model compact was a 12+1 gun that was closer to a Glock 26 in size. So truly, it was a subcompact. Things became even more confusing when they came out with the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Compact, which was a 15+1 gun, similar to the Glock 19, and for some reason, they didn't make a first-generation version of this gun. It's been popular, and I think it's an excellent gun. But that said, they changed the designation. So you had the 1.0 Compact, which was truly a subcompact, and then you had the 2.0 Compact, which was in fact a compact. Compact, subcompact, compact. Am I driving you guys nuts yet? So I think you smell what I'm stepping in here, and the point is, with the 1.0 models, Smith & Wesson basically made a full size and a subcompact that they called a compact. With the 2.0, they came out with a full size. Then they came out with a compact, which is an outstanding gun. And finally, they came out with the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Subcompact, a proper subcompact that is virtually the exact same size as the M&P 1.0 Compact. I am so sorry about the origin story of the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Subcompact, but I think it was important to contextualize where this gun came from. It's truly a subcompact, and it's designated as subcompact finally. Plus, it has all the Smith & Wesson 2.0 improvements. My favorite of which being the excellent grip texture and the trigger that's about a pound lighter and, in my opinion, much better than the one that you find on the 1.0 gun. So you've also got some teensy little forward slide serrations. Even though I'm a hard to the core Glock guy, I really enjoyed carrying the Smith & Wesson 1.0 Compact, the subcompact, I'm just gonna call it from now on. And that's because you've got a gun that holds 13 rounds with a flush fit magazine. That's almost the exact same size as my beloved Glock 26, which only holds 10+1 rounds with a flush fit magazine. The M&P series has been out for a while now, 15, maybe 20 years at this point, and it's proven itself to be reliable and durable, so I have no issues carrying the Smith & Wesson M&P where I might normally carry a Glock. I really like getting those extra 2 rounds, which is why I chose to carry it. So I was super excited whenever the 2.0 was announced because I loved the entire 2.0 suite of features. I got a copy of the subcompact almost when it came out, and I've taken it to the range a couple of times. Absolutely love the way this thing shoots. But before we get to my opinion about this gun, why don't we go over the specs real quick.
The Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Subcompact has a 12+1 round capacity in 9mm. It's available in 9 or 40 S&W and 45 ACP if you show a valid AARP card with purchase. The grip has an 18-degree gripping. Sorry, my cat's meowing. The grip has an 18-degree grip angle, unlike the 22-degree grip angle of the Glock, and it's more similar to a 1911 in that respect. It includes 4 interchangeable palm swell grip inserts for hand fit and trigger reach tuning. The grip inserts come in small, medium large, and large. It's got that skateboard tape grip texture not featured on the 1.0 models that is all the rage, and it's really, really grippy, and some people even complain that it's a little too aggressive. It's also got the M&P 2.0 enhanced trigger that's not found on the 1.0 models either, with a trigger that's about 5¼ pounds versus the 5½ to 6 pounds typically found on Glocks. It's got a tactile and audible trigger reset. The barrel in 9mm is a 1 and 10-inch twist. The M&P 2.0 series has an extended, rigid, embedded stainless steel chassis to reduce flex when firing. Some shooters may prefer a more rigid frame, while others may like their frames to have a little bit more flex, as there are countervailing theories as to which is better for recoil mitigation. The slide has an Armornite corrosion-resistant finish that has worked well in my experience. However, TFB correspondent Luke C., who does a lot of moving and shaking and sweating while he's carrying, has managed to really crust up his M&P shield, as you see from these revolting pictures here. So to finish out the physical specs and compare them to the Glock 26, Smith & Wesson advertises a weight of 25 ounces on the 2.0 Subcompact, and it looks like they're spot on according to my scale. The Glock 26 is a little bit lighter at 21½ ounces. This is likely on account of the internal steel chassis of the M&P and the slightly longer barrel and slide on the M&P. The Smith & Wesson has a 3.6-inch barrel to the Glock's 3.4-inch barrel, which translates to an overall length of 6.6 inches for the M&P and an overall length of 6.5 inches for the Glock. The Smith & Wesson is a little over 1/10 of an inch taller than the Glock with the flush fit magazine, and a little bit shorter than the SIG P365 XL, as you can see from these pictures where I have each of these guns side by side against the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Subcompact. At its thickest point along the grip, the Glock is right at 1.2 inches according to my measurements, while the M&P Subcompact looks to be about 1.15 inches. But that's really eyeballing it since I lost the damn battery cover and battery on my digital caliper. Finally, the standard sights on the M&P are steel, while standard Glock sights are, as we all know, plastic. The gun ships with 2 magazines, including 2 magazine extender sleeves, for use with the M&P 2.0 full-size and compact magazines. The M&P, of course, has a limited lifetime warranty and Smith & Wesson's lifetime service policy. So one of the best features with the 2.0 series is the improved trigger, and that translates to exceptional accuracy, at least for a defensive pistol. I've always really been impressed with the 2.0, the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 series, with the grip texture and that improved trigger that finds its trigger weight somewhere between the 1.0 trigger and the custom shop M&P trigger, and that yields good results. So these are 2 10-yard groups that I just shot back to back. Don't worry about that little guy. Actually, these are really tight, and these are exceptional groups, especially for a defensive subcompact pistol. Very impressed with it. Not to mention, we're using Federal Train and Protect. Federal Train and Protect is it's what it sounds like. It's defensive ammo that you can use. It's inexpensive enough to use at the range. You can buy it in boxes of 100. So we used a full bore hollow point round when we shot these groups, not just frou-frou target shooting ammo. So that makes this doubly impressive. I've been impressed with the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 series shooting performance since day one. The Subcompact, no exception.
In all, I think the 2.0 Subcompact is a home run. It's a very shootable gun, very carryable. Again, I love the texture. I think the M&P 2.0 Subcompact is one of the best subcompacts on the market today, and I think it is an excellent carry option. The ergonomics are great. This gun shoots well. The ambi slide lock works perfectly. It's easy to take down, easy to maintain, it's durable, it's rust-proof almost. It has excellent Novak style sights that work great for concealed carry. They're very low to the slide, which I like, giving you a very true point of aim, point of impact. You have a 2-slot accessory rail in the M&P that is not on the Glock 26. And again, these guns are virtually the exact same size, but you're getting an additional 2 rounds out of the M&P 2.0 Subcompact. And of course, it's got the ability to accept magazines from its big brothers. This is the 17+1 magazine from a 1.0 full size. So you can interchange your magazines, use 15-round magazines, 17-round magazines, in addition to the 12-round magazines that this gun comes with. I love the wavy slide serrations. They work great. I'm not a big forward slide serration guy, but they're just in the right spot here if you need to press check your gun. But you also have a loaded chamber indicator, so it really raises a question of why you would need to do that to begin with. Perhaps the only negative issue that I can really bring up with the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Subcompact is obsolescence. You have guns now like the Springfield Hellcat, which holds 11 rounds with a flush fit magazine, and it is much smaller than the M&P Subcompact. You also have the SIG P365 XL, which is a 12+1 flush fit gun that is also much thinner and smaller than the M&P 2.0 Subcompact. So with all of these ultra compact double stack guns coming out like the Hellcat and the SIG P365, is there really a place for subcompacts like the M&P 2.0 Subcompact or the Glock 26? And I would say yes. You have some people who just want a little bit thicker gun. It isn't like this gun is really all that thick to begin with or very hard to conceal, so it's already thin enough, but it's chunky enough where it's shootable. You're just going to have lower felt recoil in this gun, and it's going to be easier for a lot of people to manage. So that is an understandable reason to go with a gun like the 26 or the M&P 2.0 Subcompact versus one of these new ultra compact double stacks. You also have to look at magazine compatibility. There are some guys that have the M&P full size, or their duty gun is the M&P compact, for example, and they want to be able to have compatibility using those larger magazines in the smaller guns. So that's a very attractive feature that you have there that doesn't exist yet with, say, the SIG P365 or with the Springfield Hellcat. At the end of the day, if you're thinking about purchasing the M&P 2.0 Subcompact, you have to contextualize this against the smaller offerings such as the Hellcat and the SIG P365. But if you go into this with both eyes open, you go to the store, you feel the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Subcompact. It's got an excellent trigger, great ergos, it's a reliable gun, and it's easy to shoot. It's still very concealable, and you also have the option of interchangeable back straps, as well as a 2-length accessory rail under the dust cover. So this is still an attractive option and still relevant in the face of these new ultra compact double stack guns. So guys, 2 thumbs up for the Smith & Wesson M&P Subcompact 2.0. Can't go wrong with this gun, and you can't go wrong by supporting us at patreon.com/TFBTV, or preferably the pro gun subscribestar.com/TFBTV. We give away multiple guns every month to our Subscribestar and Patreon supporters. You're automatically entered if you're at the $5 or the $10 level, but no purchase is required. These drawings are not affiliated or associated with YouTube or Patreon or Subscribestar in any way. We couldn't do this without the guys at Ventura Munitions. They're the very best sponsor in the entire world. They send us all the ammo that we use in these videos. They're the best gun store online or on planet Earth. We'd be shopping there even if they weren't sponsors. But thank you most of all to you guys just for watching. Please do us a favor and subscribe. That costs you absolutely nothing. Guys, thanks again for watching. See you next week.